Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. It's Super Train weekend here in Calgary, and I figured I'd take a moment to upload a quick video to show you some of the notable vendors and showcase some of the highly anticipated models that we can expect in the next year. This year's Super Train was held a few weeks earlier than normal on April 5th and 6th here at the Olympic Oval located in the University of Calgary. We're starting off at one of my favorite booths at Prairie Shadows, where I was able to chat with Jeff Arnold about some of the upcoming releases. We started off by taking a look at the soon-to-be-released PD 5000 covered hoppers. There are various schemes available in this first run, which include multiple variations of the NAHX scheme, FURX, and SU. Next, we take a look at the new Prairie Shadows 89-foot tri-level auto rack with the rave doors. These pre-production samples have also received artwork since we last saw them at Super Train 2024 and will be a great future addition to the layout. The road names included in this run of auto racks will be Canadian National, Union Pacific, Grand Trunk Western, Florida East Coast, and Conrail. Lastly, we take some time to look at the N-scale cabooses offered by Prairie Shadows. These come in a variety of paint schemes, including CN, both in the red and black, as well as the Operation Lifesaver white, Can-Do, Alaska Railway, and Algoma Central. There are also a surprise run of boxcars offered by Prairie Shadows. These come in the SOXX and GTW reporting marks. I found the GTW boxcar kind of neat. It had ghost lettering, as if it were to be an ex-Canadian National boxcar with recently patched GTW reporting marks. Just down the aisle from Prairie Shadows, we stop at the Maple Leaf Trains booth, where one can find an assortment of realistic detail parts and super detailing for various scenes around your layout. Over at the North American Railcar Corporation booth, we find the same offerings as last year. However, since Super Train 2024, PWS has since delivered the NSC 5431 covered hoppers. These models look absolutely outstanding, as we can usually expect from NARC. And lastly, at their booth, we take a quick look at some of their N-scale offerings. Next, we stop by my good friend Matt Robson's booth at Elevation Media, where you can find an assortment of high-quality graphic t-shirts, ball caps, sweaters, DVDs, and other miscellaneous railroad gifts for the whole family. At the ScaleTrains booth, we found most of the same offerings as the previous year. However, we are excited to see some pre-production samples of the 60-foot Gunderson boxcars with DWC and T-Box reporting marks. I'm really looking forward to receiving these later this summer.
Possibly, I will say some of that stuff is kind of used to pull 20 cars on this track out of the sparks. I've never seen a track. We had to give up some weight.
At the Rapido booth, we found a long list of models that just were recently announced and or in production or transport ready for delivery. Some of the most notable models on the display was the CP GP9U with the SW1200 slug set, in addition to some of the Trenton Works 60-foot newsprint boxcars, which I believe are definitely a necessity for anybody who models Canadian National. Monashi Laser Engineering was in attendance this year as well, with similar offerings as last year. I'm definitely finding myself closer and closer to purchasing one of those elevator kits, as they look absolutely incredible. All of their kits are Craftsman laser etched wood kits, and if you do them properly, the results are outstanding. Lastly, all the way from Lena, Illinois, was Caboose Industries, which were offering manual switch throws for your model railway. I have personally been a big fan of these Caboose Industries switch throws, and it was certainly enjoyable to see them in Calgary this year. Some of the most favorite and most reliable hobby shops were in attendance. Starting off at the Train Exchange from Edmonton, Alberta. They had lots of offerings for anything that you needed for your model railroad, and if they didn't have it at the show, they certainly have it at the shop in Edmonton. Hobby Tech from Calgary, Alberta had a large chunk of real estate at the show, as they normally do. At Hobby Tech, you could find just about anything to start a model railway, and lots of staff were on site with a wealth of knowledge to help you find exactly what you need. Lastly, Intercity Hobbies, all the way from Langley, British Columbia, was in attendance at Supertrain. At Intercity Hobby, they're a great group of guys that were working this booth this weekend, and I highly recommend that you check them out if you ever find yourself in the Lower Mainland or at Supertrain this weekend. And finally, we'll take a brief look at some of the layouts set up at Supertrain this year. There are a ton of different layouts, so I tried to choose just a few of my favorites and capture the overall feel of the show. One of the layouts you'll be seeing the most of is the Western Freemo group. We were partnered up with Cold Slap Freemo from Chilliwack, British Columbia this year, and it was great to see some old faces and catch up with some of the guys that haven't seen in a few years. Well, everyone, thanks again for watching. If you haven't already done so, feel free to stop by the Supertrain at the Olympic Oval before it's too late. There's still time to stop by. As always, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, feel free to drop them in the comments section below. And if you haven't already done so, please feel free to like and subscribe. Well, everyone, thanks again for watching. If you haven't already done so, feel free to come by Supertrain at the Olympic Oval before it's too late. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please feel free to drop them in the comments section below. And if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like and subscribe for more railroad-related content just like this.